with heavy hearts, we have descended to this tranquil and historic Koki village, KwaSondzaba, here in Umzimkhulu, to bid farewell to a distinguished South African patriot, a true revolutionary cadre of the African National Congress, Mluleki Ndobe. Igama lakhe liyasho alidingi ukuchazwa umluleki, loyo onika yiluleko, loyo futhi owaziwayo ngokusithoba, alinde maqede akwazi ukulekelela bonke abantu. Igama lakhe lesibili liyasho amandla kaSomandla, and therefore he possessed that wisdom that our movement needed. May our fond memories of this fallen warrior of justice and human dignity keep us resilient and steadfast in pursuit of the national democratic revolution. Uma kunento okudinga siyazi yokuqala ngoComrade Ndobe, he understood ukuthi sihlanganiswe umzabalazo wokulwela abantu. We will always remember Comrade Ndobe as a personification of unconditional love for one's country and the epitome of selfless service to the people, especially the poor and marginalized of our province. In paying our last respect to the pride and hope of the Ndobes, we are flying our flag at half-mast at this provincial official funeral. We also dip our revolutionary banners of black, green, and gold of his beloved and glorious movement, the African National Congress. Once more, we convey our sympathy and heartfelt condolences to his wife and his children and the family. As you come to terms with your monumental, irreplaceable loss and ask yourself questions that will not be answered, please find comfort in wisdom of the words of God, Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, which states as I read, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, shall keep your heart, your mind, through Christ. Indeed, may the peace of our Lord transcend all human understanding and help us heal, especially the family. Like Herod Spouford, who faced many storms and tragedies with the death of his children, may the family find solace and strength in his famous hymn, "It is well with my soul." Coming to terms with this unbearable pain, Stafford composed the song, and let us embrace it today, where he said, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows rolls, whatever my lot has been taught me to say, it is well with my soul." Sizothi namuhla alwehlanga lungihlanga, but nakuthina bakwa-African National Congress yize sifelwe olwembiza, asamukele nomndeni, samukele kanye nesizwe, simdedele umfowethu aphumule, ukuphumula kwafuthi kwamalanga athongo. Ngokuzithoba nenhlonipho sithi dudu kunina bakwasiwa. Since the news broke a week ago that the bright flame of Umzimkhulu has extinguished, we heard moving testimony of how Comrade Ndobe touched people and inspired them. We too, who were in his trenches, believe and bear testimony to a number of accounts that have been given. Comrade Ndobe surrendered himself to the struggle of the people at a young age and served in COSAS, SASCO, and in the ANC Youth League. While studying, he knew that to be a student leader comes with a responsibility to excel in academic studies. He demonstrated the leadership responsibility that comes with being a leader of students. He didn't treat it as a comfort zone, but a platform to advance the cause of the movement and the suffering masses and the downtrodden. Comrade Ndobe knew the interconnectedness of the struggle for liberation. When he started working, he participated in the South African Democratic Teachers Union, the South African Communist Party, and the ANC. This strong base enriched his ideological outlook to strike a balance between the struggle for liberation of the ordinary people and advancing workers' struggle. In essence, Comrade Ndobe was an all-round leader who equipped himself with knowledge to understand each terrain of struggle and applied relevant skills and tactics to advance the cause of the people. Fellow compatriots, here lies in front of us the son of KwaZulu-Natal village, who remained the epitome of skillful and grounded organizer. When he joined the ANC Youth League and became a leader of the ANC Youth League, especially in the Alfred Nzo region, where he demonstrated exceptional leadership, which made him to become a regional secretary within a short space of time. But the Alfred Nzo region, being part of Eastern Cape, not because of its size, but because of the quality of programs and activism that brought the organizational vibrancy, became reckoned with and respected throughout Eastern Cape. His organizational management skills made impact not only in Werigwala region, but throughout KwaZulu-Natal after Mzimkhulu joined KwaZulu-Natal. He mastered the understanding of ideological and political character of the ANC and the alliance, and balanced it with the organizational management, which saw effective running of structures and effective running of programs that responded to the daily lives of the people of the region and KwaZulu-Natal as a whole. One moment that we will not forget, especially those of us ababekwi youth league, akuyena wonke umuntu owayevame ngesikhathi sikamluleki noComrade Mhlawuli. Akuyona yonke NEC member, not all NEC member would like to go to Alfred Nzo. Wawuye Alfred Nzo uyokwenza door to door, but before you get into a door to door, they will call you aside, but hayi comrade, awukuthi nje ukusirhabulisa ukuthi kwenzekani nationally and kwenzekani internationally. So you will go there ungayilungiselele for political discussion. So many NEC members bengakuthandi kakhulu ukuya lapha. So sasiya nje no Mbalula, no Zizi, no Songezo, and I know ukuthi Comrade Thandi Tobias is one of those who liked ukuya khona because of being engaged, unprepared. And that was the region they led. He never asked others to perform tasks that he himself was not prepared to undertake. He lived by his word and practiced what he preached. Irrespective of how daunting and difficult the task was, Comrade Ndobe would patiently insist that leaders should be at the forefront and occupy front line and undertake the most difficult task of building the organization. In this, he displayed the highest level of sacrifice and selflessness. Lying here in front of us, in his wooden house on a journey to eternity, is a commissar who understood that to serve the people and the revolutionary cause requires self-development, to provide strategic leadership and be versed with technical understanding on how things need to be done. Hence, he subscribed to the notion of a lifelong learning. And so while he was armed with the master's degree, he knew that he still needed to advance his knowledge, to always be effective to the struggle. This helped him to understand what was expected of him in each and every deployment he occupied. Comrade Ndobe was all round. He will not tell you about only administration, but he will tell you about administration, project management, and everything that you needed. We pay tribute to him for using his education, skills, and talent to strengthen his organization, the African National Congress, so that it continues to be an effective instrument of liberation in the hands of the people. As the saying goes, charity begins at home. And so we honor his effort to support the education of his family and the bigger Ndobe clan. And as a mayor and later in his capacity as a deputy speaker of our legislature, Comrade Ndobe remained passionate about education and skills development, especially for the youth. It could have not been otherwise, because the Freedom Charter demand for the opening of the doors of learning and culture, and the battle for free education were the struggles he and his generation actively championed in the COSAS, SASCO, and the ANC Youth League. So, this notion of starting, but work as if you are going to die tomorrow, Ndobe embodied. Comrade Ndobe lies in front of us today, emotionless, having elected to oppose the imperial agenda that sought to brainwash our people and subject them to inferiority that rendered them as servants of the oppressors. While he lived, Comrade Ndobe devoted all his energies as the ANC provincial head of political education to arm its cadres with tools of analysis and theoretical orientation of the movement and of the enemy. We must understand that in the revolution you must have tools of analysis, you must have understanding of your own organization, its strategic vision, but you must know those who are opposed to you, what are they standing for, and try to educate them, win them over on your cause. It is because of that Comrade Ndobe distinguished between the opposition, which is an opposition based on policies, and the counter-revolution, those who want to hold us so that we don't progress with the revolution. While he lived, he emphasized that the ANC and its government does not exist for its own sake, but exists for the people. He emphasized the need to organize and mobilize the people, but he equally advanced the need to serve the people and ensure their development. Was an admired and respected by the community of Umzimkhulu and indeed by the province as a whole. He respected everyone, young and old, rich and poor, and his heart always beat as one with the less fortunate. At this time, and let me acknowledge our leaders, the traditional leaders, led by Inkosi Yasemadungeni, Inkosi Uchiliza. Inkosi Yasemadungeni will attest that when he was a mayor, he worked with them here in Herigwala. But when he ascended to the provincial level, he also worked with Inkosi Uchiliza as the chair of the House of the provincial, leaders in the province. To him, everyone and everybody was somebody. So respected the dignity of all, whether they were rich or poor, whether they were from the cities or the small rural village in our rural hinterland. Always warm and soft-spoken, he excelled in simplifying complex concepts in a language that was easy to understand by an audience that he was deployed to. Uma sizwa lezi ndaba zokudlula kaComrade Ndobe, sizile ekhaya no Comrade uKhabazela, and Comrade uKhabazela, Comrade Zweli Mkhize, underlined this point. He said, uma kunama complex issues, besivamile ukudeploya uComrade Ndobe ngoba ubene skill ne-ability yokwazi ukuchaza izinto ezicomplex zi-understandwe yinanoma ubani. While the struggle drew him to serve the people through politics, Comrade Ndobe remained a magnificent teacher at the heart, never to fail in inspiring and counseling others. In the ANC, he was our political commissar par excellence, even though we never officially gave him such a title, because Comrade Ndobe was never about positions, despite his extraordinary talent and popularity amongst the rank and file of the movement. He was kind, but not timid. While friendly, he was intolerable and intolerant of ill discipline. And we know that he was not just a consensus builder, but was always a decisive leader. We will miss his bravery, resoluteness, and foresight during many of the trying moments we've shared.